Jaclyn Whittal and Mark Robinson, our storm hunter, meteorologist here at TWN. Mark, you've been to the Arctic, you've been down to Antarctica.
Yes.
And you and I were down in the plains last year chasing storms. We're going to go again.
Yeah, this is actually my first love. I mean, I'd love to get to see some of those other places like Antarctica and the Arctic, but you know, Tornado Alley is definitely my first love. Getting down to chase tornadoes and thunderstorms is what I love to do, and I can't wait to get back down there.
You've been doing it for about 10 years.
And a little over 10 years, yeah.
And last year we went down. There's our Weather Network vehicle. You can see there. That's in the States among our other storm chaser team here. But, you know, we put a lot of miles on that car. Do you think we're going to be this active this season?
You know, it's definitely. I think it was actually a surprisingly inactive year, although we had these big outbreaks.
You're right, compared to other years. Yeah.
We actually had fewer tornadoes than we normally expect.
Right.
So we did have a lot of driving to do. You know, the two of us spent many hours cramped in a very small car together, and she didn't kill me. This is the bonus. I actually survived it.
We got along quite well.
Yes.
We had a lot of laughs, but you know, it can be intense in the car.
Yeah.
It can certainly be a very serious thing, especially in terms of forecasting the right target, getting in the right spot.
Yeah.
Looking at some models, this is the American model, the GFS model. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here and what you expect in April.
What I want to show you here,
sure.
This is the jet stream. So what we're looking for is what we call a trough, and those troughs are what bring in the storms. So if you take a look right here, this what Jaclyn's drawing right here is this troughiness, and when you get that, you actually end up with the warm air moving up from the Gulf, and that's where we get our fuel. The fuel for thunderstorms comes from the Gulf of Mexico, moves up into the plains, especially as we get into May.
Sure.
But
yeah.
just because you've got the fuel there, it doesn't necessarily mean you've got the storms.
No,
you need
not necessarily.
At least one more thing. If you go to the next one, I'll show you that.
I just wanted to show real quickly here that these temperatures for viewers, they're getting up into the 90s in northwest Texas and into western Oklahoma, which is usually where we're stationed, in and around Kansas, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's good news that we're seeing these temperatures in the 90s.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we're seeing the fuel already in place, when we get into May, as we get these triggers moving down from Canada, so we get this cold air moving down from here, so you can sort of see the wind barbs showing that the wind is moving down here. Here's all our fuel moving up. These cold fronts moving down are what is going to trigger off the thunderstorms, and that's what we need, and that's what we're sort of beginning to look at this point.
And I'm just going to draw this arrow here. Tell us why it's important to see this southerly flow off the Gulf of Mexico coming into the plains. What does that do?
Well, this is all our hot, moist air that we're trying to get from down in the tropics, and when you have hot, wet air, that is essentially the fuel.
That's
the fuel for storms. Yeah, that's the instability for storms.
Okay, so far, if we looked at this is the next couple weeks. April doesn't look too bad. If we look at May, this is a monthly look at May. A lot of cold air in the eastern parts of the States and Canada. We've got a nice surge of above seasonal temperatures right in the plains for May.
Yeah, this could be quite an interesting year this year.
So why does this happen? Well, a high pressure area means that air is not rising, but it's actually sinking. It has a lot to do with what's going on in our upper atmosphere. So if air is converging together aloft, well, then it has nowhere to go. It can't go up because that's space, so it has to go down. So it sinks, and when it sinks, it actually warms, as opposed to low pressure where air is converging at the surface and we have rising air, and that means that temperatures are cooling with height. We get condensation, we get clouds, and then often we get stormy conditions as opposed to clear conditions in high pressure.
And we're going to see some high pressure in your forecast for tomorrow. But before we talk about that, so some spring showers along with surprise snow for some. Through the overnight, we've got some high pressure pushing into place. We do have some generally northerly winds for the Greater Toronto region. Really sunny tomorrow, though. Really nice and clear, calm conditions. That's Wednesday, but things do change on Thursday because